Hopefulness 2.0 day 19. Here's my sourdough. I've eaten about half of it so far. It still has room for improvement. I'm thinking that one of the reasons why, especially outside is so dense, is that I forgot to let it sit out and proof for about a couple hours before I put it in the fridge. So I'll have to do that the next time. It's not going to be happening this time around because the other one is in the fridge right now. But it worked out really well. But I also said, fuck it, I'm just going to get Dutch oven. I found a cheap one on Amazon for like 40 bucks. Got a couple other things so I can have them delivered. They're going to be here Monday. And I'll probably go pick them up on Thursday when I get the car. I gotta check my finances to make sure everything is, on the up and up. I'll go ahead and eat a banana. I'm just gonna eat these. I'm not gonna make any bread with them. My water is weird. So yesterday, and it's not the tap, it's in the filter. I started getting a headache yesterday. I didn't really realize, but my water tasted like chemicals. And it was only coming from the filter. I had tested it from the tap, I had tested it from the filter. And whatever the situation, it tasted almost like it was chlorinated. So that's not good. So I've got to get another filter from out of storage. At least I think that's where they are. I'm pretty sure. I don't know when I'll do that though. I'll probably just do it when I get the car because I just don't give a fuck right now. And they're over on the other side doing some, it sounds like construction. So that's fun. Well, whatever. So yeah, the sourdough didn't turn out great, but it didn't turn out bad either. And it doesn't really have much. It does have some, but it doesn't have much for the little blisters on the outside, which I think is part of the whole, it needs to continue proofing thing. So I'll do that next week. Towards the end of the week, of course, because that'll be when I get my, the Dutch oven's going to come in on Monday, but I'm not going to pick anything up because I've got more stuff at the, because then I can go from, car rental. It's literally a block or two away from the mailbox. And then I can go to storage and pick up some stuff. And then come back. So, and then, figure out the parking situation for 2 days. But go ahead and get me some. Oh, because the other one's being used by the. That's fine. But yeah, the bread's still. It still needs a little work, but it's not terrible. But when I opened it up, man, I opened up the oven and I'm like, holy shit, because I need to take out the water. And again, I'm going to do it. I'm going to cook it again today. the sieve worked really well for cooling it off. I had it just kind of sit here over the sink. Oh man, that was good. Yeah. Stupid stringy bullshit. Crap. Yeah, I gave it plenty of airflow. It cooled off. I mean, it still took a while. It still took like 4 hours for it to cool off. And I mean, you know, it was only like that big. Not even that big, really. Which is also another thing, too, because like it didn't really inflate much. I mean, I've got bigger holes in it, so I know that it can. What I'm going to do, I'm going to rinse this out. Because I'm lazy. And I'm going to toast some more in here. Yeah, I don't need this anymore. Let's see if I can get, you're not exactly dirty or anything other than through cutting this bad boy, so it's pretty tough. And this, I don't think this blade is all that sharp, really. I mean, I could probably still cut myself. That's the whole thing about dull knives. It's like, they may be dull, but they're still sharp enough to cut through skin. But, you know, again, you know, it's like, I would consider this a success that, you know, still needs a little bit of improvement, but it's not terrible. Doesn't taste bad, that's for sure. And especially, you know, if they're all on Kerry Gold, it's even better. And the purpose behind me getting this stuff too. Wait for you to boil off all that water. Speaking of water. So what I'm going to do, put a little bit more in there. And, you know, I kind of made a couple of adjustments from a couple of the recipes that I picked up with regards to cooking. Actually, let's just put you. That'll work. There. So you want some headroom, and it got like a very small amount of burn on one part. And I mean, it's not terrible, but it's also not ideal. And so, cutting this piece is gonna be a bitch. Just gotta make sure I don't, you know, cut myself in the process. What the fuck is on my hand? Oh well. Knowing me, it's probably blood. I don't know why knowing me is probably blood is a thing, but it's whatever. Well, I did wake up and like the side of my face was bloody. Like before I even started this video, I had to go to the bathroom, check my face because it looks like I may have scratched a zit or something. Yeah, like right here. There was like a smear on the side of my face. I was like, oh, that's not normal. Generally. So I'm just kind of toasting these in here. warmth. And then go ahead and put you away because I won't need you until later. Then I'll wrap up these pieces and then eat them later. But yeah, yesterday was interesting. It's funny. I had, I had just finished baking because it doesn't take that long. I have to check timing and stuff, but I think I was just about finished baking, if not completely. And then I'm on the internet, starting to watch some videos and stuff, and I get a ping on Discord, and it's another earthquake for EverQuest. And it's like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and join in on that. I wasn't really planning on doing much else for the day. So did that. We did quite a bit. In fact, probably one of our best earthquake days that we've ever done. So that was cool. I got a new earring for one of my characters, which is good. So yeah, overall, you know, productive and fun kind of day. Need to shower today though, because I forgot to do that yesterday. We were busy. I mean, we were pretty much going for like a good solid 7 hours. Which will happen on those days sometimes. Yeah, we took down, let's see. We took down like 10 major targets. And there's a lot, but like, and we almost took down an 11th, like the biggest, the super boss of the game, pretty much. Like, I mean, there's really no super boss, but like one of the most powerful and also has the best loot dragons. We almost got the chance to do it, but we didn't, unfortunately. Because the guild that typically sort of monopolizes everything ended up taking it, which is unfortunate, but you know, we still did a pretty good job anyway. And we teamed up with another guild to take down several targets too, which I think we should do more frequently, because when I first started raiding over a year ago, or just about a year ago in fact, we would do that more often. And we were much more successful. When we started to do it on our own, we weren't nearly as successful. And I'm not saying that at some point we shouldn't try to branch out on our own. I'm just saying that right now, it doesn't seem like that's the best idea. Because we're not getting the targets that we want most of the time when we don't team up. When we do team up, we take down bigger targets. We have a better chance of, you know, earning some points and getting some loot. That's kind of the whole point of it, really. It's why you're doing it. It's getting to the point where I'm starting to smell little tiny pieces that are going to get to burning. But that's okay. It means I have just a little bit more time. I don't want to actually burn though, obviously. Burning ain't great. Ain't what we're after. Alright. Let it sit there. In fact, I could just do this too. Hang on to some of that heat. But yeah, yesterday was fun. It was nice to be able to take out 10 big targets, and then we did the ring war thing so we could help somebody else get a nice, awesome end game item. It's a super long quest. It starts off real simple and gets more and more and more and more and more complex to the point where you literally have to have, you know, your own small army in order to fight, in order to face another army. And like there's three rounds, and each round has 7 waves. And in the first round, I mean, in each round has the same enemies each time for each of the waves, each of the 7 waves. And it's virtually the same number depending on circumstance and stuff. And they spawn in certain positions. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total positions that they can spawn in. And it's the job, you know, you're there to stop them from advancing on the city, because if they do, you lose. And then you don't get to have your super end-game ring. And that's definitely not ideal. Ooh, got a nice little toasty on there. No burn that time. Cool. Let's go ahead and do that now. Obviously, I got some dishes I gotta clean up, but that'll come in a little bit. That'll come later. Right now, it's bread and butter and salt time. Bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter. Pretty sure that's a Looney Tunes thing. One of the things that I'll do is I'll take my knife and I'll hover it over the warm bread so that it becomes a little warm, so that I can cut into the butter easy. Oops, well, sometimes easier. Yesterday the butter sat out a little bit longer. I want to say it sat out for about 30 minutes or so, but it's whatever. I'm using a steak knife, technically. Whatever, I'll just let it sit there, doesn't matter. It's still not the best. Like, the last one I said was like maybe 5 out of 10. Maybe 6, I'm not sure. This one's more like a 7. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't really matter in the end. In the end, what matters is that I keep doing it, keep trying to improve it, and go from there. I figure, I don't think about it. I had, you know, I know what it was. I think it was right about the time that I needed to actually start cooking was when I got the notification, because I still had to like turn, you know, still had to turn on the oven and let it preheat for a while. Which I'm gonna go ahead and do now in a second, but I'm gonna open up windows, turn on fans. Okay, come on. So gotta make sure that, you know, it don't get too hot in here. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. No. That would be an interesting crossover, just having Consuela from Family Guy trying to sing that song, and then she's like, No. It's the only problem with having the big holes is that your stuff falls in it. And that's anywhere, really, for the most part. No. I don't know why I like the Consuela character. I don't even watch Family Guy anymore. I haven't watched it in years. I mean, I've got like the entire series for the most part on my computer, but I still don't even really watch it. I haven't watched any animation in a while, though. To be honest. Just gonna spread some of this over here to the other one, because the smaller one seems to have significant butter. I can't remember exactly. I think it's the Pat shoe that I also bought this butter for. But we'll see. God damn, I don't know what the hell they're doing to this building right now, but it's vibrating. Just let whatever remnants drip onto the other one. It's good butter though. It has higher butter fat apparently, so I don't have any flaky salt. I just have this Morton kosher salt, so it's what I got to play with. Flaky salt's better because it's bigger pieces and it's usually less salty overall, at least within concentration. It's like, okay, for instance, table salt is effectively, for all intents and purposes, highly concentrated because you get those tiny little granules and they're all packed in with each other. And so a pinch of table salt, which is difficult to do in of itself, is likely to contain more just overall salt. And so is thus saltier for the most part. It's, Morton kosher isn't nearly as big in granules as, let's say, diamond. And then, you have your flaky salts and your finishing salts and all kinds of stuff like that. So, so it's just about trying to moderate. And I did taste it before I put any butter or salt or anything on it. In fact, my first slice was an entirely it was just a bare piece. I wanted to see how well it worked out. It's not super sour. So it's like just kind of right there in the middle. It's noticeable, but it's not in your face. It's really well balanced. I'm gonna check my starter. Yeah, I could use a little work. I'll have to do some of that today. It's still a little dense, and again, I think it's because I forgot to proof it. Because it needs to sit out before, at least based on what I've seen so far, it needs to sit out in the open room temp to then kind of do that final proof. So And instead, what I did was, after shaping it, forming it, and everything, put it in their little, containers. I just put it straight in the fridge. Forgot to turn on the oven. I'm gonna do a 45-minute preheat. 46. Whatever, doesn't matter to me. And then we'll move from there. Still don't have a job. Still don't have any prospects. Haven't heard back from the one company when I did the recorded stuff, so I'm just going to assume that they don't want anything to do with me. So I'll just keep putting in some more applications and see what happens. And yeah, like I said yesterday, even though I then turned right around and did the opposite, it's like, oh, I shouldn't buy this stuff, blah, blah. At worst comes to worst, I'll just leave whatever here. It's not plan A, but it's whatever. We'll see what happens. If anything good or whatever. But I still want to at least try to keep making some bread, about once a week. I didn't get a mixing bowl, but I did get a cooling rack. So that'll make, whatever. Maybe I'll get a mixing bowl next week when I get the car, I don't know. Damn it. It's too wide. Oh well. It's not like it's gonna matter really. I can probably just fold a piece of it. Still trying to get accustomed to, the way all this works. Where the hell did you go? So instead of, dealing with the excess, I just, fold a little bit of it in. Probably could have done that before, but it's whatever. Well, Anyway, I'm gonna finish up this last piece. Have fun.